Hi Capricorn, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. This is going to be a general reading for you for the month of July 2025. And so in today's reading, we're going to be doing the Yellow Cardinal Cross. So let's get started right away. I want to look at some issue that you're dealing with, whether it's a decision you're having to make, a struggle. Could be a pattern that's showing up in your life, something you've seen before and you can't figure out why it's happening. So I'm going to bring some awareness to that. And then I'll immediately clarify that with another card, or sometimes a card can tell me sort of what's obscuring it or blocking it. So let's start off with asking for the issue here at hand. I got these backwards, that's fine. They'll come out the way that they want to come out. And one card for you, Capricorn, for the issue that you're dealing with this month. Ooh, that one flew out. Like I said, it'll come out when it wants to come out. So you have the Knight of Cups. Now let's clarify that. I just want to see if there's some cards. Yeah, that were... I think when I started, I had one that was flipped over. It was messing me up. All right, so let's clarify this, or tell me what's obscuring this Knight of Cups for Capricorn. One card. All right, you have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune is clarifying that. Now, tell me what's the conscious influence on that, which means, you know, what are you aware of? What's the influence here on the situation that you're sitting in? What are you aware of? So one card for that. And it may be something that, you know, I need to bring awareness to. 10 of Cups. And for some reason, your cards are falling on the floor. I don't know if it's a particular deck that I've picked out. But now, let's look at spot number 4, which is the unconscious influence. And this area right here is from your childhood. It's from your, as a teenager. This is your shadow. So this represents the unconscious influence that's actually going to be what's manifesting the majority of any external patterns or issues or struggles that you're dealing with. What's showing up here, and it's going to be caused by what's sitting in the unconscious. So you have the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Coins. At the top, I want to look at what's needed for resolution. So give me one card. What's needed for resolution for the situation that Capricorn's sitting in right now? And you have the Chariot card sideways. The Chariot card sideways at the top. At the bottom, I'm going to ask for some guidance from the Tarot. And I have the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Coins in reverse. All right, so I'm just going to pull a couple clarifiers for those. So that was taken from the Tarot Grand Luxe deck. I'm going to use the Radiant Rider-Waite to clarify maybe one card for the middle, the Knight of Cups and the Wheel card here. One card to clarify. Well, we ended up getting 2. So we got the Queen, 3 actually. So we have the Queen of Swords. That's weird. Usually this deck's really good at just spitting out one at a time. 4 Swords in reverse. So apparently there's a little bit of a story here. Ace of Cups for you with the situation that you're sitting in, which is quite interesting. Conscious influence. So let's have a couple cards for this 10 of Cups right here. Now it's gone silent. Couple cards. There's one and one more. There we go. All right, so you have the Hierophant card in reverse and the Strength card. You have 2 major arcana cards to clarify that 10 of Cups. 2 powerful cards right there for the conscious influence. Let's look at this unconscious influence, the Four of Coins. Couple cards, please. There's one. There we go. So you have the Six of Pentacles as your first card, and your Five of Wands in reverse. Two cards that tell me a lot for this Four of Coins. I was going to say the Seven of Chariot. The Seven, which of Major Arcana, which is the Chariot. Couple cards, please, for this card. And one more card would be, oh, got two more. Okay, so you have the Ace of Wands, and the Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands. So, 3 wands, suits. Talk about that. 3 of Coins, 3 of Pentacles at the bottom. Couple cards, please, to clarify. Tell me more about that. 3 of Pentacles. Tell me more. There's one. And one more. There we go. So you have the Tower in reverse and the Five of Pentacles. And I'm going to pick an oracle card for the return from the Return of Spirit. And I won't tell you what it is right now, but we'll put this aside for the end for you. Really like these cards. I really find that the messages are great at the end. Okay, put that over here. I'm just gonna get that ready for you. Okay. All right, so Capricorn, let's start off with what situation you're sitting in right now. We start off with the Knight of Cups. And the knights in my deck are what are called my freedom fighters. And this is a part of you. It's like an adolescent part of you. Everyone has this part. It's that part that's fighting for freedom. They don't want anybody to control them. They don't want to accept conformity in any way, shape, or form. And they're actually a part of us that is willing to die for the right to be who they are. And so you have this part of you that has been really pulling you and fighting for you to break away maybe from some sort of oppression, wanting to be free. And it's the Cups here. So Cups speaks about our emotions, our wishes, our wants, our desires. And so there's this part of you that wants to have the freedom to experience authentic relationships, to offer your cup to someone, or someone vice versa would offer their cup to them. And it's been sitting there for a while, and this is because it's a younger part. Like I said, it's a teenage part. And so maybe you're feeling this pull. You're feeling this pull to experience, what is authentic love? Maybe it's something that's been missing in your life for a while, because you have this Wheel of Fortune right here sideways. There's something that the Wheel of Fortune speaks about, life happening to us. Things happen to us. There's been some sort of a change of circumstance for you. Maybe, it could have been some sort of relationship that you've walked away from. And maybe you're looking to realize that, I want to see some sort of authentic love in my life. There's a party that's realizing, you know, what you've been missing. And it's sideways here because I'm not sure that the healing around this situation has been done yet. Sometimes, especially, you know, if it is some sort of a relationship, maybe something is, I'm thinking, for example, it could be a relationship where you've been rejected or something has happened where it hasn't ended well. And there's some real grieving sometimes that has to take place. And, you know, sometimes we'll want to look for that next person or savior that's going to come and take this pain away from us. But let's get some clarity on, you know, what's going on here with why is this Wheel of Fortune? I suppose that's my question is, why is this Wheel of Fortune sideways? There has been a change of circumstances for you, but it's almost like, you know, I didn't use the word stuck yet. And I think of the Wheel of Fortune as this Ferris wheel where it's kind of like stuck right now. It's like it could go either way. So what's going on with you right now? Well, you start off with as a clarity, more clarity. You get 3 cards. Like I said, there was a lot here coming out. So Queen of Swords. This is the Queen is our feminine side to us. We all have a feminine side. We all have a masculine side. It has nothing to do with gender. But this particular Queen has the sword of authenticity in her hand, the sword of truth. And I think there's a real call for you to get back to that feminine side of you, that authentic side. You know, you have that knight that's coming out and wants to have the freedom to experience authentic relationships. And sure enough, you've got this side of you, this feminine side that's wanting to come out as well. That's saying, you know, I want authentic relationships in my life now. I'm maybe fed up. I'm tired with the same old, or maybe there's patterns repeating in my life where I'm seeming to attract the same types of people. And then you have a 4 of Swords in reverse. And the 4 of Swords always speaks to me about, interesting that you have these 2 swords right here. Swords always speaks about, this particular card talks about rest. Sword is our, excuse me, can be our mental thoughts. That spinning that we can tend to do in our head. And so maybe there's been a lot of spinning around this situation. And for some reason, you're needing some rest. You're needing to carve some time out for yourself, but you're not doing it for some reason. Maybe you think that you don't deserve it. Maybe you can't find the time, or maybe you're just not taking the time here. Because there's a real offer here from the universe. It's like, here's this cup. Here's this cup of emotions. It's like the universe is saying, there's some, I'm going to say grieving. There's some more emotions that are stirring around the situation that you're sitting with, this part of you that's being pulled towards authentic relationships. But there's some healing, I think, that needs done around whatever this Wheel of Fortune, this change of circumstance is for you. And the universe is saying, here's a cup. Here's another offer here. Maybe it's maybe you thought that you've healed a certain thing, or maybe you thought you've like come to a place where, okay, I think I'm ready now. And then something else is coming up. Something else is stirring around this situation. And this cup can be an offer for us to sometimes go a little bit deeper. You know, maybe a part of us says, you know, I've had enough. I've had it with this. I've dealt with this already. And sometimes it comes around again and says, well, no, it's time to go deeper. So that's the situation you're sitting in. What's the influence, the conscious influence that you are aware of on this situation? Here's the 10 of Cups. Well, you're quite aware. The 10 of Cups speaks about that full range of emotion. I think you're quite aware that, yeah, there are some emotions around the situation that I'm needing to get to, I'm needing to feel, and I think you know that there's something here that needs processing. The 5 of, and then you have these 2 major arcana cards, this 5 of the Hierophant card in reverse, and then the Strength card. But, you know, you need, what I'm seeing here with this Hierophant card, the Hierophant card for me speaks of, you know, the things that we were taught when we were younger, what's right, what's wrong. It's kind of like how we were wired when we were younger. So this really begs the question of, here's some emotions that I think you need to feel. And you have this Ace of Cups here from the universe. It's saying it's time for you to feel a bit more about this situation. There's some more emotions here. You're aware of that, but yet there's something in your wiring that's blocking this, because this is in reverse. It's like there's a fear of yours to go towards these emotions that you need to go towards. That has to do with this change of circumstance. And then this card comes in right after it. Beautiful Major Arcana, the Strength card. It's like, it's a reminder to you. It says like, look at this individual that's prying open the mouth of this lion. And this shows the strength of this individual. And it's not the physical strength. It's the inner strength that's needed here. You're needing this inner strength to go inwards so that you can look at and feel what are these emotions that are still left here for me to feel. There's something here. And it's really time for you. And this says, the universe says, you have the strength to do this. And so I see that you know this. You know that maybe you've been around, you've done this before, or you know that you have the strength. It's not blocked. So you know that you have the strength, but there's something about how are you wired? What is it about how you were wired that's blocking you from feeling, going deeper, and really getting in touch with what's going on here? What do I need to heal? So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to look at your shadow. This is when you were younger. What is it about? How are you wired? What sort of emotion here? It might tell me. It is going to tell me what emotion's coming up here for you to actually start to look at and feel around this situation, this change of circumstance. You start off with the Four of Coins, Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, normally, when it's not in the shadow, it talks about, being attached to some material goods, like being attached to our money, and it's called the Miser card. But because it's sitting in your shadow, it actually talks about some sort of attachment issue. I'm wondering if when you were younger that there was some sort of rejection, abandonment when you were younger, that is coming up right now. This situation that you're sitting in is actually triggering the situation when you were younger, and that's how this healing journey works. Our outer world, whatever's happening to us on the outside, is triggering what needs healing on the inside. And this is what needs healing, is this attachment issue when you were younger, rejection, maybe abandonment, because what sits behind that Four of Coins are two cards that tell me exactly what you're dealing with. The first one is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, because it's a six, first of all, it has a duality to it. So it's a card that you can look at, and from the outside it looks like something, but there's something that's hidden behind it. So you have this individual, excuse me, that's weighing out some coins. For these beggars that are, telling them, how many coins do you want? And one beggar says, well, I'm worth 3. I want 3 coins. And so he'll weigh out 3 coins. And the other one tells them how much they think they're worth. This is really a card of like giving and receiving, it's really a card of self-worth. You'll get from the universe what you think you're worth. And so this is in your shadow right now. This is really a card about unworthiness. I think when something happened to you when you were younger, that has to do with this rejection card, this Four of Pentacles, I think it gave you the message that, or you took it in as a child, that there was unworthiness here, that you felt like, maybe you blamed yourself. Because right behind it is a Five of Wands in reverse. In an upright position, the Five of Wands is what I call my kind of like your inner critic card. It's that card where you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, you see that less than part of you. Like you can really be critical of yourself. You have this, it's a part of you that sometimes prevents yourself from trying new things because you think, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not smart enough. And so there's some real anger here that I think is sitting here. We can really get angry. It's like this internalized anger that we have against ourselves, not liking ourselves. But behind that sits, you know, these big emotions of unworthiness, shame, and also behind that anger can sit a lot of grief. And so you've got these two emotions of anger, shame, maybe some grief. There's three big emotions there that are sitting behind this abandonment wound when you were younger. And so that leads me to think that, you know, maybe this is about a relationship again. Maybe it's a pattern in your life again where this is showing up, this abandonment wound. And what happens is in life we'll continue to attract these people that will abandon us. It's something like, it's almost like an energetic thing, right? Where we keep on attracting these same people, that it's going to end the same way all the time. And so you're in need of these, wanting these authentic relationships in your life. It's like, why can't I call these people in? Why can't I have this authentic relationship for myself? Because you need to heal this part of you that got really hurt when they were younger and are sitting with these big emotions of shame and some anger, and maybe some grief. And so what's needed for resolution here? I mean, I just told you. I'm going to see if this matches up with what the tarot is saying here. Well, you have the Seven of the Chariot card, and it was sideways here. So you have this individual that's been trying to control these horses. And both of these horses are out of control. They're wild. They're looking in two different directions. And so the Chariot card speaks of this trying to control something for so long with our mind. And I think that's your situation, where you've been trying for so long to control this situation with your mind. And you get to a point where you just hit a wall. And, you know, the Chariot card talks about movement. And in the Rider-Waite, it's like these cement figures that he's been trying to kind of control these sphinxes all his life. But you hit a wall, and it's like, I can't control this anymore. I can't control my outer world. But there is one thing I can control, and that's my inner world. I can go inwards, and I can feel these emotions from when I was younger. The Chariot card is a card that says it's time for inner movement now. Not this head spinning, not this trying to control it with your head anymore. But now it's time to go into your body and try to figure out, okay, what are these emotions? How have I been wired? What's this abandonment stuff that I need to deal with? And then you have three wand cards come right after it. And the wands is a suit that talks about putting yourself first. It's a real creative suit. It talks about our true purpose, our creative purpose, the next step for ourselves. You start off with a beautiful Ace of Wands. It's like the universe has said, here you go. Here's a new beginning here for you. Here's a new beginning to put yourself first. Go into a new direction for yourself. This is the beginning now. And once you go inwards and you start to feel some of these emotions from this abandonment issue when you were younger, you're going to be taken into a different direction. And then you get the Knight of Wands that shows up, and you have the Knight of Cups here. And like I said, this is another freedom fighter. This is that part of you that wants the freedom. Is pulling you towards this direction, pulling you towards your authentic self, pulling you away from this pain. It doesn't want this pain anymore. It wants you to go towards this new direction that you're being asked to go into, this new direction of going inwards and finding out who you really are. But then right behind all of this sits this King of Wands. The King in my deck represents, we talked about the Queen being our feminine side. And now this is our masculine side, and it's right here coming out. This is your ego, Capricorn. This is the ego that's saying, you know what? All this stuff about this creativity, putting yourself first, going in a different direction, no. Your ego will come in and you'll go, and ego will say, absolutely not. The ego wants nothing to do with change. It wants nothing to do with emotions. It wants nothing to do with you going inwards. It wants status quo. It wants to keep you in your head, because you know why? That's where there are no emotions. It wants to keep you spinning, on status quo. It doesn't want you to go in your body, because that's where emotions are. It's that part of us that protected us when we were younger, when we had these big emotions that were, related to this abandonment. It came and it took us out of our body, because that's what it was there for. We're too young to feel this stuff, but you're being asked to feel it now because you're an adult. But your ego self still thinks that you're a child, and it wants you to stay stuck up in your head. It doesn't want you to do it doesn't want you to have anything to do with going into that new direction for yourself. But that's what's needed here for resolution. And so the guidance of the tarot says, well, here's the Three of Coins, the Three of Pentacles. It's in reverse, and to me, number 3, first of all, is a creative card. It's actually a co-creative card. And you have this individual working on these pentacles, and normally it's an individual that it actually looks like he's working on the Notre Dame in Paris, and he's not working alone here. There's other people behind the scenes that are working with him. And so this is really, because this is a healing channel, I see this card as a therapy card, needing help, and maybe you're needing some help. It's in reverse, and I'm wondering if there's some resistance here. A lot of times when we need a little bit of help in life, just a little bit of a push, a little bit of guidance sometimes to get us in the right direction. This card will come up and say, I think it's time for you maybe to consider going in there, doing therapy if you've never done it before. Maybe trying something different. There's a lot of body work, somatic healing out there that I've had done with my own intensive journey that I've been doing on for the last 8 years. And so this card is kind of saying, maybe you need to go back. If you've sworn off of it, maybe you need to switch therapists, try something different. But there's a call here to get some help, to help you out with getting at this abandonment issue of when you were younger. And you know what? There may be a part of you that knows what I'm talking about, and there may be a part of you that doesn't realize, oh, yeah, that happened to me, but I didn't realize. I thought I forgot about that. I put that away. I thought I dealt with that already. But guess what? Sometimes it comes up again and it spirals. We have to go a little bit deeper. So call here for therapy. Tower card comes in reverse. Now, there's a big difference between the Tower card in reverse and the Tower card coming upright. So because it's in reverse, it's almost like a final red flag, a final call for you that says, you know what? I think you've been dealing with this situation right here for a long time. There's a call for you to get back into therapy, to get some help. And this is kind of a final red flag here before this turns into this full-blown tower moment again, If we do not deal with this, especially if it's a pattern that's come up and it keeps on coming up over and over, it's going to continue to rear its ugly head until we finally get to the bottom of what is it that needs healing right here, that's sitting in my shadow, whether it's my shame. I need to get at some grief. I need to get at some ungrounded anger that's sitting there. You have some ungrounded anger there. And so this is a final call here. And I think the Five of Pentacles comes in to tell me that here's this individual both of them are walking by the church here. They're not even looking at the possibility or considering the possibility of getting help. They're just like, no, I don't feel worthy enough. This is a card of unworthiness. And, when I want you to think of something. When I pulled out this card and I said, I talked about therapy and getting help. What did you tell yourself? Did you tell yourself, no, I don't have the money for it? Did you tell yourself, no, I'm not doing that? What did you tell yourself? Because that is coming from that part of you that feels very unworthy and doesn't put themselves first. But you have an Ace of Wands that's saying, it's time to put yourself first, right? It's time, Capricorn, to put yourself first and to take care of you, because there's no one else that's going to do it. You need to do it yourself. And so, beautiful message for you, Capricorn. I'm going to read the final. I'm going to leave you with a playlist on shame. That really is something that's coming up this month for a lot of my readings. It's going to help you deal with that unworthiness. So your card that you got at the end here is Fairy Magic. Fairy Magic comes when we are feeling a bit run down and tired. Or if we are if we are taking life too seriously. Fairy magic comes to brighten the day and to put some spring back into your step. Fairies love to play, dance, and sing. They enjoy being in the company of their friends and love social gatherings. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. Too much of the heavy stuff weighs our energy down. Have you been working too much? Maybe you've been feeling fatigued or lacking a zest for life. So this is all about restoring the youthful, vibrant energy within. The elements are here to assist you in grounding your energy back to earth and to reconnect with nature and the animal kingdom. They will help you to rediscover your vitality. You will start to feel better and more like your old self. You just may find this card will help reinvigorate your intuitive channels and connection with the divine beings and spirits who are here to assist you. Buy yourself some flowers, get dressed up, have a night out with your friends. Just do whatever it is that will help reawaken the playful nature sleeping within you. So there definitely is a need for this awakening in you, this rediscovering who you are and going in that new direction and putting yourself first. I want you to have compassion for yourself, Capricorn, for what you're working through. This journey is the most difficult journey of your life, this healing journey, but it's the most important one. So take care until I talk to you soon.